Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today what we are going to talk about is flaxseed gel. So yes, I made my own flaxseed gel at home. I am in love. Like, it is so soft and so kind to my hair. So it's just super gentle, and what I really loved about it and what I struggle with a lot is the fact that it didn't change my color. And so I really struggle finding products. They might be amazing, but they might like turn my hair super brassy, and I'm not going to spend all this money on getting my hair colored if it's just gonna look like, I don't know, rust. So I'm super happy with how this turned out, and it is super cost effective. I mean, I bought a bag, 500 milliliters of flax seeds for $4.99, and I used a quarter cup. So what we're gonna do in this video is show you the recipe and how I got it done, and I hope you enjoy it. So one of the things I wanted to chat about before we jump into this video is really around how I got the gel to strain. Guys, this was not easy. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find a jar. What I would recommend, even if you do it in a pot or something along those lines, try to find something with a wide mouth. I use this jar, A, because it is see-through and I want to show you guys what I was doing, and B, just because this is the first time that I've ever made flaxseed gel, and I didn't know what to expect. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your jar. This is nylons. So these were nylons that I pulled out of the box. They weren't dirty, but I did cut them. So kind of a waste of money there. But you could go after quarantine to a dollar store and pick up some really cheap nylons, because what I wanna talk to you a little bit about is the mesh. So as you can tell that these are sheer, but they're not the most sheer. So you're gonna wanna find something where the mesh is not as tight. You're gonna wanna be able to strain the flaxseed, so something where the mesh is small enough that a flaxseed won't slip through, but loose enough that a thick gel will. So it's kind of a balancing act. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this in a clean jar, and you're just going to wrap the nylons around it. And then you're gonna pour your flaxseed gel in here, and then you'll pop it off and you're gonna strain it. And I will show that in the video. The only thing I didn't show was how to get it on the jar. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy.
So guys, you definitely don't need an Instant Pot to do this. I just use the Instant Pot out of convenience and for really great lighting for you guys. But what you will need is 2 cups of water, and I put the Instant Pot on the high saute function to bring this up to a boil very quickly. Next thing that you're going to need is some flax seeds. So you're going to want the whole flax seeds, not ground flax seeds, not roasted, not salted, but just whole flax seeds. And you're going to want a quarter cup of those. And so I'm just going to add them to my water as it heats up. So what you're going to want to do is bring this water to a rapid boil, and you're going to want to let this boil for about 10 minutes. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is let it cool down for about 15 minutes. Now, admittedly, if this gets too thick, you're going to really struggle to get it through your nylon. So what you're going to want to do is keep it a little bit less gelatinous than what it is in this photo. So I ended up adding some water, and I ended up adding about a quarter cup of that, and I just stirred it in lightly. Now, when choosing a jar to put this in, you're going to want something with a wider neck, and this was a little bit too narrow, and I ended up making a little bit of a mess on my counter, but you're going to want something that's a little bit wider and stretch that nylon as far as you can. Further to that, in terms of what kind of nylon that you want, this is a great opportunity to find something that's super cheap, something that has a wider mesh. These nylons were like $18, and such a poor choice to use only because the shear was not a lot and the mesh was super tight and it was really good quality. So I really struggled to get that gel out of these pantyhose. But as you can see, I eventually got it, and I'm starting to fill up that jar. And admittedly, a lot of the gel that I could have had was wasted. Just because I was like, okay, I'm totally over this. I have what I need for this wash day. But you can get a lot of gel out of just a quarter cup of flax seeds. I probably could have filled up this whole container. And this was my first time making this, as I mentioned. So, I mean, there's definitely going to be some changes in the future. But what you can see here is that I just finished getting out the rest of that gel, really pulsing to making sure I get out as much as I possibly can. So these are the final results, guys, and I just ended up putting it in some of these containers that I often save when I travel. I put in my hair products in there, so I'll show you what that looks like.
So this is how I stored my flaxseed gel, and I'm not sure if you guys do this, maybe it's just me, but I always steal these from the hotel, and I steal them because I like to travel with them. So if you have something like kinky curly custard where you have to like stick your hands in, I cannot stand that. I have long nails. I don't like to get hair products in them. I always put them in something like this. So what I did was I took the flaxseed gel from the jar and I just topped it in here, and I've been storing it in the fridge, and this will be good for about 2 weeks until it starts to smell a little funky, or so I've heard. But this is the first time that I've made this. I probably would change a few things. So Curly Susie, I think is her name, she also has a flaxseed video of her making the gel, and originally when I watched it I was like, oh, her gel doesn't look gelatinized yet. It looks still pretty liquidy, and it looks like she strains it before it starts to get gelatinized, and then she lets it kind of like stiffen up in the jar, and that might be a better process. I will try this again, and I will let you guys know if I've changed anything. I'll put it in the description. But there are a few little tweaks, I would say, that I would try differently. It was a struggle, as you guys saw, for me to get the gel out of that nylon. But I am looking forward to using this. I definitely would use it again. I love the shine. I love how soft my hair looks right now. It definitely needs a haircut, but I'm super happy with these results. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I do try to respond to those questions. You can always reach me at my blog, curlyandfab.com, or on IG at curlyandfab. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys.